All right. Today we're going to be talking about the psychology of the second house in astrology, giving you the full meaning explained. First, we're going to go through the components, the different aspects or parts of the second house, so you get a more granular, detailed perspective look at what the second house represents psychologically in your life. And then to give you the qualities. What does the second house that's healthy look like? How does that manifest psychologically? And also afflicted, unhealthy second house. What does that look like and how does that manifest in your life? And then evaluating. So what do you look at in the chart to see if you have a more healthy or unhealthy second house in your life, okay? So we first start off with Artha because the second house is an Artha succedent house. Artha, what does that mean? Essentially, it is the material aspects of creation. It is all about material success, material fulfillment, material survival, struggle. Artha houses, which are the 2, 6, 10 houses, are focused on material achievement. So focusing on the external 3-dimensional space. Even if we're spiritual beings enjoying a human experience, we still need to maintain our material life to have and, let's say, support our spiritual journeys, okay? If your external environment is chaotic, that means that is a reflection of your internal environment 99.999 times out of 1,000 or 100. Obviously, there are exceptions. There are certain people who it does not matter what the external world looks like. But even to get to that point where you become as enlightened enough where the external world does not matter, you need a solid material life. Meaning that if you are hungry, if you don't have the resources, you don't have the shelter, you don't have the food, you don't even have necessarily the support system, the people around you, but from a material standpoint to help you out in this incarnation, you will not succeed. You need Artha, you need material support, security, sustenance in your life. Okay? So that's simple as that. Artha is a aspect, a goal of the human experience, and it is our material goals, our material aspects, our material drives and inspirations. Succedent is a security house. All the security houses, 2, 5, 8, 11, they focus on stability, security, consistency. They are fixed. Think of the succedent houses as the fixed houses, like there's fixed signs, okay? So when you take those two things together, you take material, success, achievement, material survival is the main focus, is surviving on this material planet, maintaining your material body, and then maintaining security, succedent, you get material security. That is the synthesis. So the second house is all about gaining the resources, gaining the support, gaining the skills, whatever you need to become materially secure, having a solid foundation in this 3-dimensional space. And the way that is reflected internally, psychologically, is worth, self-worth and value. Because when you have your basic needs met, you feel valuable, you feel cared for. When people growing up take care of your basic needs, your food, your shelter, your, resources, their basic resources to pursue the things that you need or that you desire in life, if you have that material support, you feel valuable. This is why people who might grow up in difficult households growing up where there wasn't enough food on the table, or there was constantly changing physical environments, meaning changing houses, or you didn't have enough resources or money for gifts or school supplies, things like that, or nice clothes to be accepted by your peers. These are all Artha things. If you don't have those things, you might feel less valuable. You might have problems with self-worth because you consciously thinking as a kid, as you develop, that I didn't get the things that I needed materially, and so I'm not worth it. I'm not valuable. On the flip side, also when you are responsible for others, meaning that you are able to take care of yourself, being resourceful, and also being able to take care of others like your family and your friends in a material way, meaning you have the resources to house your family or to financially support in certain ways your friends or immediate people in your environment that you care about, you feel valuable because you realize that other people are dependent on you. So when you can materially depend on other people, which is more the 8th house, but growing up, it manifests as you're getting taken care of, which then leads you to being able to become resourceful yourself. You feel like a person of value because people want you around because you can support them in a material way. That might sound shallow, but if it's just fulfilling the basic needs like food, shelter, and supplies, and resources and tools, that's inherently valuable, okay? And so that's tied to your self-worth. So second house is all about your self-worth, how you value yourself. And that's based off of the way that you are materially supported, and your material environment is directly tied to your self-worth, your value. Until you transcend it and you become enlightened. And that's what the path of spirituality is. But you still need that solid material existence. So planets in the second house are going to be planets that are going to support your ability to feel worthwhile, to feel valuable. They're going to be planets that you need to be responsible for, meaning that you need to be consistently using these planets. So if you say you have, let's say, Venus in the second house, making sure that you are taking care of the environment and making sure that you're making thoughtful choices to sustain it, because Venus is all about sustainability, maintaining the quality of the things in your life, making the proper choices, making choices that lead to fulfilling your resourcefulness or fulfilling the resource needs you have in your life. And when it comes to other people as well, these are the planets that you will use to fulfill your responsibilities to other people. So if you say have Mars there, then you will use your will, you will use your effort, you will use your courage to pursue the things or fight for the things that you need to do to support yourself and other people. Because again, second house is also your personal resourcefulness, the ability to get resources for yourself and the people you are responsible for. Okay? So planets in the second house, remember, it is the second step in this journey around the houses, around the zodiac, around the, not the ecliptic, around the circle. So first house, it's all about initiating, taking action. You have an idea, you take action, you move towards that goal. You have a goal, you're moving towards the seventh. You have a desire, you're moving towards it, but you have that vision, you have that inspiration in the first house, you're on your life path, you're moving forward, you're taking action. It's the initiation. Then you go to the second house. The second house is once you are pursuing something, once you have an idea, once you have a vision, you start to manifest it. Arcta houses are also about manifestation, tangible, physical manifestation. The Dharma houses, 1, 5, 9, are about inspiration. Manifestation, inspiration. Okay? So you start manifesting. You're inspired to do something. The first house, you go to the second house, you start manifesting it. You start doing the work. You become responsible. You get the resources, you get the tools that you need to start manifesting that idea, whatever that vision may be, whatever is aligned with your dharma, your purpose, your natural inclinations, your natural state of being, which is dharma. You start manifesting it through Arcta houses in the second house. Okay? And planets in the second house is what you start using to manifest your inspirations, start fulfilling your ideas that you've already taken action on from the first house. And when it comes to quality, meaning how, healthy, unhealthy, how does that manifest? Well, pretty self-explanatory, right? A healthy second house means somebody who has high level of self-worth, feels valuable, is able to get the things that they need for themselves and the people they're responsible for, right? They feel materially secure, meaning that they feel like they can always figure it out. They can always handle the material realm, okay? So say they lose all their money, they feel confident that they can get all the money back. Bill Gates has a very strong second house, just to give you an example. A lot of billionaires have Jupiter and Pluto or powerful planets, personal planets in the second house because they have a lot of responsibility and they are able to manifest their resources and the tools they need to fulfill whatever they feel they need to fulfill. So if you have a busy second house, that means you're going to have a lot of responsibility. If you have a prominent second house because of personal planets there, powerful planets there in high dignity, or just a lot of planets there, that means you have a lot of responsibility in this incarnation to fulfill. And a healthy manifestation means that you can deal with it. You are responsible, you are consistent, you feel valuable, you take care of others, and they take care of you, and it's a beautiful, symbiotic, natural, harmonious relationship that you have with other people that you care about and that care about you. Unhealthy, obviously the opposite. Somebody who is irresponsible might have money insecurities, secure in their finances, insecure in their finances, or their ability to acquire the resources they need to get the things that they need to survive and to take care of the baseline responsibilities. Because that's what the resources in the second house represent. It is those baseline resources, the baseline material security, not the abundance, not the extra and overflowing. That's more Fourth house, second house, is that what do you need to survive? The baseline of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So that's what an unhealthy second house is you feel insecure in your material security. You don't feel like you can maintain the resources you need, or you feel like people won't take care of you when you need it. Or somebody who also might be overly controlling, might always want to be responsible and is constantly anxious that they're not going to have enough resources, so they're trying to handle it themselves and they can't rely on other people in any way. That's moving more towards the eighth house, but they're going to have that symbiotic, balanced out relationships as they're two opposite poles of the same stick. And if you want to evaluate the second house to see, well, is my second house good or bad, healthy or whatever? Well, you could also, one, look at your life and see, do you feel like you have a good sense of self-worth and value of yourself? Do you feel confident in your ability to take care of the responsibilities in your life and to be consistent too? First house is more about taking action, initiating, having that fire. But second house is, are you able to put one foot in front of the other and taking care of your responsibilities and being focused on what matters to manifest the things that you were inspired by in the first house? That's the key, okay? And so to evaluate that, you look at your own life, or you can look at your chart. You look at the second lord, meaning the sign ruling the second or holding the second cusp. So the ruler, the lord of that sign, 1. And then 2, you want to look at the second house itself, obviously. I probably would say second house first. I went in proper order, so my fault. But you look at the second house, you look at the second lord, meaning planets in the second house. And then you look at Venus, because Venus represents our ability to feel valuable, and it represents our self-worth, okay? When you have, Venus is the same symbol for women, and when you have that energy of like, know your self-worth, queen, like that's Venus, is know your self-worth. Take action, initiate, that's the masculine energy, that's Mars. I'm not saying it's only for men or Venus is only for women, but you kind of see those archetypes manifest more in male circles and female circles for Venus. So Venus is all about self-worth, know your worth. Mars, take action, initiate, more masculine, direct, forward, self-worth. Venus, receive the things, know your worth, know what you are supposed to say yes to and no to. And also being able to commit to the things that are valuable and feeling worthy of those things in your life. Because sometimes people can get the things they need, but they don't feel worthy and they self-sabotage. So second house too can lead to self-sabotage if it's unhealthy in regards to one's finances or resources or responsibilities. Self-sabotage, second house, unhealthy. Okay, thank you for your time. If you resonated at all with this, I would love to hear your experience. Please comment down below. I will answer. I always do. And in the next video, we're going to be doing the psychology of the third house. Cheers.